What was that noise?
I don't know.
I've no idea. Is that hotel you're in haunted?
I wouldn't have thought so.
It better not be. Where are you? I'm clutching around here in the dark. Gosh.
Gee, you're always clutching in the dark.
I know. Where are we? Is it 10 o'clock yet?
Can't be
Gosh,
too far away.
there's half a dozen people watching already. Oh, we're getting 2 thumbs up. Gosh, that's like me on Embarrassing Bodies. 2 thumbs up.
I'm saying nothing about embarrassing buddies. No, not saying anything about it.
Actually, I had more viewers than the Whiskey Show this week on all 4. You can catch it, Embarrassing Bodies. There you go.
You don't want
Good
to.
evening. Good evening.
No. Yeah. So busy week. You find me. I'm in Edinburgh tonight again.
Edinburgh, yes.
Edinburgh, as in like Pittsburgh. You know,
Pittsburgh. No.
You know, but no, I'm in Edinburgh tonight. I'm working away,
Right.
slaving away. I'm only back out from Wetherspoons.
That sounds good.
No, I went to Wetherspoons. I know everybody's very down on Wetherspoons. You know, they're a bit of a soulless pub and all. It's the closest one to here, and they're doing pints in it for £1.49. £1.49 for a pint of beer. There's other places it's £6.57. And Wetherspoons is bummed. I mean, it's absolutely thronged with people.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's hard to argue with it. I bought a glass of wine last week in some hotel that was in last week. It was £9.40 for a glass of wine.
Wow!
And yet you can get a pint in Wetherspoons for £1, less than £1.50. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I know. Well, there you go. That's what Declan Boyd's saying low. Everybody's saying low. Ryan,
even.
You were pissed in £10.
Oh, I pissed in the tenner, mate. Well, you would be. Obviously, us hardened drinkers, Ryan, would be.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to whiskey tasting on Monday night without you. But look what arrived. I wasn't in, right? And this arrived, and my dad says, "Oh, great, you've bought me a whiskey for Father's Day." And lo and behold, for the time I got home, it had all been drunk. It had all disappeared. It had all done a vanishing trick. Actually, I quite like that. You're
right. We're going to be doing the tasting a little bit later on, so you're not supposed to have tasted it yet. That's the whole point.
I know,
but you always balls that up.
I know.
No self-discipline.
I know that. That is the trouble. That is the trouble. I just have to actually try it. What's Frank Hearn saying tonight? He's saying, "Evening, gentlemen and ladies. On the 2 stacks tonight's a dram in a can, a new experience for me. But my local off sales is always on the ball. Looking forward to tasting." Yes,
excellent,
very good.
Excellent, good man. Give it a whirl. I haven't tried that myself. I'm just flat to the mat. The last few weeks, I haven't had time for anything. Honestly, it's been just mental. But it's good. It's good to be back working again. So I'm in Edinburgh here at the minute. Where am I going? Next Saturday, I think I'm in Inverness whenever we're on show.
Very good. Very good.
Busy.
Good.
Busy. Well, so tonight we are sponsored by.
Yeah.
Scots Irish.
Well, you've got the bottle with you.
I have a bottle with me. I have miniatures. I brought my miniatures with me. I'm at home, so
I noticed you didn't leave the miniatures with me this time because I drank most of them the last time. Yeah, I know. I know.
No, but no, it's out and about, moving around, keeping going.
I know. And isn't it Father's Day tomorrow? And if it's Father's Day tomorrow, and you've forgotten, what you do is you order a wee bottle of Scots Irish, and then it comes in a special Father's Day thing, and it just looks like it was lost in the post, even though it comes from Anna or whatever. Yeah.
Aye, blame Amazon. Blame Amazon. If you buy it on Amazon, it's you can get it there and get it delivered.
I know. know. There you go. There's Ryan Bawley saying he loves his miniature.
Yeah, good.
I'd heard you had a miniature one, Ryan. I heard you had a miniature one. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Some poor peeler gets sacked because he he said this other peeler in the miniature one. It was rather bizarre.
That's very bizarre.
There you go.
So we do the wee thing for the news, Justin.
We will do. We'll hit the button. Here we go. Lovely.
There we go. Now, this has been a big story this week. The Irish Whiskey Association has issued a cease and desist notice to a distillery in New York, US of A. Not New York, somewhere else. By the way, American people always tell you that. They always say this place and then tell you the state that it's in. We kind of know. We know where New York is.
That was actually a question on Quora tonight. Some American says, why are all the places in England named after places in America? And somebody had to explain to them, no.
Well, not to cast aspersions on the good folk of the US of A, but last week, Justin, I was doing the tour, and this happens regularly. People go to the wrong side of the vehicle. So we're on the big coach, and they're standing on the driver's side waiting for the door opening. It's easy enough. You walk up, all right. So the two of them go and walk around to the other side. And the girl says, I feel that silly. I feel dead silly. I'm standing on the other side, not dead. And she got on. Her friend, meanwhile, standing like this, taking a photo of the side of the bus. So I says, are you taking a photo of the side of the bus so you can remember what side of the bus to go on? And she went, I think it would help. That's what she was actually doing. She was taking a photo of the side of the bus.
Okay.
Just as you know. Yeah, okay, just go on. Up the back. There you go. Anyway, right, getting back to the story. So they've issued a cease and desist notice to this distillery, the Kings County Distillery, because they've used the words Irish style whiskey. Okay, so this is the bottle in question, right? Now, there's another picture. You pull it up. I'll show you the label. Pull it up full screen for us. Irish style American whiskey. On all the blurb, it says it's made with New York corn, with New York barley. Then it's an American whiskey. It's actually only a year old. And what they mean by Irish style is, they actually mention this in the blurb, that it's actually a poaching. Now,
it looks like a poaching style bottle.
Exactly. Now, you know as well as I do, because I mean, we meet loads of people from the US all the time. Nobody in America knows what poaching is. They just don't.
No.
And that's fair enough. They just don't. If you say moonshine, they know exactly what you mean straight away. But nobody in Ireland says, "Oh, we're making moonshine." So I mean, they're basically the same thing, but slightly different. So they have used this Irish style American whiskey, and it's caused an almighty row. The labelling authorities in the US are happy with it. They've passed it a couple of times. And the founder and president of the Kings County Distillery is a Colin Spolman. I hope I pronounced that. Spoelman, Spolman. And he says in his letter, so if you pull up the letter, he says in the letter, it's dead funny, he says, we answer to our government, not to any foreign trade organisation.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gone all Braveheart, hasn't he? He's gone all William Wallace.
Right.
We answer to nobody other than the American government.
Right.
Yeah. But in the letter, he comes out fighting, like, and he's talking about honesty and transparency and so on and so forth. And to be fair, I'd be interested in gauging people's opinion on this, because I understand where the Irish Whiskey Association is coming from.
Well, they always seem to be litigious, these whiskey distilleries, are they not?
Well, Well, I mean, the thing about it is, it's the governing body. The Irish Whiskey Association's job is to protect Irish Whiskey Irish whiskey, its members. That's what it's there for. It's basically, if you like, a trade union-esque thing. But I mean, it's not just as subtle. It's not just as clear cut as this. He talks about an Irish style American whiskey.
Right.
Up until 1915, pretty much all whiskey that was sold, the vast bulk of it was sold as New Make Spirit.
Okay.
Right? So that was coming out. 1915, Lloyd George passed the Aged Spirits Act. And even in America, it's much more loose with the term whiskey. You can have a whiskey that's 6 months old, and it still qualifies as being a whiskey. There's various categories and various stuff, but I mean, it's still a thing. I mean, it's got a pot still mash bill, mixed with malted and unmalted barley. It's triple distilled.
Okay, so they are trying to sort of copy it, then, aren't they?
Well, the thing is that what they've done is they've said, I mean, it states quite clearly on the blurb that it's an American whiskey. It becomes very contrived here because, I mean, even you say Scots Irish. I know it's spelled Scots as in Angus Scot. We'll talk a wee bit more about that.
It's a play on words, yeah.
But it's a play. There's a play on words there. They're stating quite clearly, this is what we have. This is set out. I mean, Dingle, for example, make a London dry gin. They're not in London yet. I know London dry gin's a style of gin. But again, it's this sort of using words of geographical indication that is a bit of a problem.
Well, there's Connor's got a good thing. And what do they mean by Irish style? A century ago, it was clear mixed mash bill run through a pot still, whether double or triple still. Not so today.
Well, this is it. And if you start taking, I mean, if you take this, don't get right. We live in a time when a packet of peanuts has the label on it may contain nuts. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how idiotic labeling can be. So where do you start drawing the line here? I mean, the Irish Whiskey Association, I can see their point of view. Are they being a bit heavy-handed? Because these guys have said it's an Irish style, it's triple distilled. I mean, loads of distillery tours you go on tell you, oh, we're triple distilled and it's the Irish style and we're better than Scotch because, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to say that, then other people naturally can hook onto it and say, well, we're doing it in an Irish style, but we're doing it outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
If you go to, I mean, I know what you call him, boy with the big tongue, the chef, Jamie Oliver.
Yeah.
Jamie Oliver, he got done for, or he didn't get done, he got criticised for cultural appropriation, where he was saying, oh, I make this food.
Yeah.
But I make it in England or wherever. And I think that this is part of the problem with when you name after a place. And we'll talk about that in the next story.
Right.
So these guys have just said, you have this spiel that you come out with, but we're doing it in the same style of them. We're not doing it as we're not saying we're Irish, but we're taking the leaf out of your book. And I mean, Connor's just said that triple distilled stuff's Irish distiller.
You could be smart about it and say not an Irish style whiskey, and then it wouldn't be. Yeah, I know.
But I mean, once you start putting these into little boxes, double distilled Scotch, all heavy peated, triple distilled Irish, smooth, and all that.
Yeah,
people can turn around. It's the same. Happens the same in the art world. You start putting all these labels on it, and it starts to become very contrived.
Yeah.
Now I've got a video of Brian Nation. I mean, Brian Nation, the whole O'Shaughnessy distillery stuff, basically keeps going on about Irish style, it's Irish influence type, and that's what they're trading on.
Yeah.
So play the wee video.
American accent.
Welcome to Minnesota, folks. We're here at the O'Shaughnessy Distillery. Not very good, is it? My name is Brian Nation, and I'm Master Distiller at the O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company. I got introduced to whiskey by complete accident. My background is chemical and process engineering, and an opportunity arose for me to join a distillery in Cork in Ireland, Irish Distillers. Actually stayed there for 23 years, and I took over as Master Distiller in 2013 until I decided to leave and move to O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company. If somebody said to me 2 years ago that I would be sitting here in Minneapolis at O'Shaughnessy Distilling Company, I would have probably told them they were mad. But an opportunity like this came about when I met Patrick O'Shaughnessy and Michael O'Shaughnessy. They presented for me to be involved with a team that was developing a brand from the ground up, that was innovating, that was creating a new way of whiskey, a new taste profile, taking the American whiskey and the Irish whiskey flavours and blending them together to deliver a taste profile that really does lend itself for people to experiment, for people to enjoy, be it as neat on the rocks, in a cocktail, or as a mixed drink. For us, we set out to develop a taste profile that gave it that versatility, and I really do feel that Keeper's Heart does fit that bill. And if you think about it, the traditional quintessential way Irish whiskey has been made in years gone by and today is using malted barley and unmalted barley. And the distillation is a triple distillation process in copper pot stills. The triple distillation process allows you to bring to the fore the signature flavour characteristics that you want in your final distillate, but it also brings an exceptional smoothness. The use of the unmalted barley brings creaminess, and all of these really give Irish whiskey its unique taste. Keeper's Heart also really does portray the passion and family values that we as a distillery represent. All of us at O'Shaughnessy Distilling are committed to producing fantastic world-class whiskies and bringing innovative taste profiles and distillates forward, and that will excite us while we're producing it, but also excite people as they taste it. To be able to go into a bar and see your brand for sale in that bar and people having fun around it, that really does excite me, because it really makes you feel like that you've done something that people are really and truly enjoying.
Oh, there we go.
No, but you see, I mean, that's that marketing thing where it is just all Irish American. I mean, we have Irish American, our friend Porrick, their bottle, Irish American. Now, if they bring out like a PGA for the American whiskey brand, Whiskey Single Malt, where does this stop, or where do you get the dividing lines? Because there's so many. I mean, take for example the amount of distilleries, the distilleries that are, well, they're not there. I mean, I'm going to use one off the top of my head because it's not going to start any rage with anybody. It's the Cooley clone for Innisfree whiskey. They talk about, they've all the blurb, it's all nonsense, like Innisfree whiskey, Watts Distillery 1793 or whatever it is, that they brought out from Cooley at that time. There's loads of whiskies that are out with place names on them. They've never seen the place. They've never been near it. So I thought this story it's beginning to blow up, and there's a lot of people. The wee fiefdoms are getting attacked with each other, and you're going to end up. I don't know where. I just think it's going to be very, very difficult to stop people from doing some of this stuff. And why would you? You know. Can't hear you, mate. But no, as I say, if it gets a potching, a foothold somewhere in the States, then that's maybe it's an idea. I don't know. I don't know. You've gone again, Justin. Can't hear you. Yeah, Justin's muted himself. Justin's silent. My prayers have been answered. Hurrah! Aye.
You'll be back in the room now, am I?
Brilliant. All right.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. Somebody heard me blow my nose there. I don't know how that was possible because it was on mute. Maybe the button's reading different than what I think it is, but there you go.
Aye. But no, as I say, it's. I think this was one of these ones that the Irish Whiskey Association has probably made a point, but at the same time, were they too heavy-handed? I don't know. I've very, very mixed opinions about this, if I'm honest. Very mixed opinions.
I don't know. I can understand that if you have an intellectual property right and it's protected, you should do it. You know.
But I mean, the next story. Here's the other one. Tomatin Trading Company up in Scotland, just a little bit south of Inverness. Pull that up full screen for us. The Tomatin Trading Company is ready to press on with a major hotel and retail restaurant development by the A9 after winning. What are you hoping for, sweets or something? 3-year legal battle with Tomatin Distillery over the use of the village's name. Developer William Frame, the nightmares over after the Edinburgh Court of Session action appeal. Distillery delighted that Lord Wolfman found court action was not taken in bad faith. Tomatin Distillery put a legal notification, challenged the right of the Tomatin Trading Company to build a £12 million development. Justin, you got a touch of the cold, son, because you keep blowing your nose.
I have, and I don't want to mute myself because it cuts the thing out completely for some reason. They've upgraded this as usual. The girls with clipboards have upgraded it, and it doesn't actually work the same as it normally does.
We'll put it like this: this trading company is wanting to build this £12 billion development, but Tomatin, the distillery, as said, no, we own the trademark. But how do you trademark a village or a place? Now, I know trademarks are for specific things, but obviously Tomatin have trademarked across a number of things. So, I mean, if you're going to trademark, if you can't trademark the name of a place, then how do you trademark an island or a country or where does that stop? So, I mean, Tomatin Distillery is owned by Takara Holdings, which are based in Kyoto in Japan. They're the largest producer of soju in Japan. Now, I would imagine, and I'm only making a guess at this, that this big multinational corporation owning the trademark probably has irked the villagers quite a lot. So, I mean, it just becomes very, very... People are going to end up with huge legal bills over the head of this. And it's hard to know where they're going to draw the line, you know?
I know. I mean, what about Carrick? Carrickfergus, Carrick. There's 3 or 4 Carricks. There's Carrick Glen that Lidl use. You know, where does it end? You know.
Belfast International Airport's not in Belfast. Well, it is in Belfast if you join the queue for security on a Monday morning, because that's something where you have to start. It takes about 17 hours to get through. You could age whiskey quicker than you could get through security at Belfast International. But
what's it like mid morning and Sunday mornings? Because I'm going up there tomorrow.
It was all right the last time I went through. I went through it in 5 minutes today. There was nothing there today, but
okay.
It was just mentally a couple of weeks ago. But no, as I say, this just bores me that people have got these little fiefdoms and you can't trademark the town, but by the same token, if someone clearly states that something's an American whiskey, can they put Irish style on the bottle? Well, probably. I don't know. It's hard to know. But in other news, peace has prevailed after a war lasting 50 years. The whiskey war is over. And Europe and Canada now have a border.
Do they?
Yes.
Is it like Brexit?
No, it's the exact opposite of Brexit. This is people trying to get on with each other.
Okay.
Now, This is the whiskey war. The battle is for Hans Island, this little island. And remember, we talked about this one night before, where the Canadians said, "Oh, this belongs to us," and they planted a Canadian flag and put a bottle of Crown Royal on it. And then the Danish come over and they put their flag down, put a bottle of schnapps down, and so on and so forth. This went on for 50 years. 50 years. Well, peace has been declared. They have decided enough is enough. They've split the island in two. And now you think to yourself, this shouldn't have taken 50 years to figure this out.
All they're trying to do is get out of leaving the bottle of American Canada Royal and what is it, snaps that they swap round every time they land or something like that.
Denmark and Canada have created the world's longest sea border. It's nearly 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles long. So Europe has now got a border with Canada. The size of the bloody place.
But what happens whenever they find some shipwreck just on their side of it that used to be a British one, or just on the other side of it that used to be a Danish one? They'll then have hargy-bargies over it without a doubt.
No, apparently, they are battling over hydrocarbon resources. Surprise, surprise.
All right.
There's oil up there. Even though we're trying to pull back from oil, they've decided no. But no, they apparently some natural fault line that runs through it. Natural fault line they found, and they've said, "Oh, that's it." So basically, it's 1 square. Canada's got bigger by 1 square mile, apparently, because they need more room in Canada.
All right, it's the second largest country in the world, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
It's bloody enormous. Longest coastline by an absolute mile, but they get an extra mile now for just in case they need it. So that's the end of the whiskey war in Canada.
Good.
Now, because they're fighting over hydrocarbons, Middleton have said that they're going to go carbon neutral. They're spending 50 odd million euro. It's going to be in 3 phases. And the first 3 phases are going to reduce I think it's in 4 phases. The first 3 phases are going to reduce their emissions by 70%. And the final phase is going to be they're going to start using renewable energy, biogas, and green hydrogen. And they're going to create a closed loop system which will use this is very sexy sounding, this is mechanical vapor recompression technology. Yeah,
that sounds like they're trying to claim back the Angel's share, Marty.
I don't know, but I mean, surely they're trying to recover the waste heat. Surely that's surely is that not just pragmatic? Is that not just if you're
why don't they heat houses with it or something like that, like they do in Iceland?
But sure they have tomatoes. They have the heat stills and stuff.
All right.
But surely it's a fairly pragmatic thing to use. Reuse stuff. Next story up. People getting scammed. 150 people in Cleveland or in the States. This is the story. A guy called Casey Alexander from England has been arrested. He allegedly used some fake company names, used some legitimate names, and actually flew over to go and meet investors.
That's brass neck stuff.
Yeah, and he conned 150 people out of $13 million. And so this is not a small thing. This is
wow.
Yeah. So, well, using people's names, using people that you're not associated with, etc., etc. With all the hype about whiskey these days,
it's low. It is low.
But I mean, it's a colossal amount of money. People doing this kind of thing, you do think, well, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. But when people are prepared to fly across from England to come and meet you, you're going to say,
that's a real deal, isn't it?
So, I mean,
you got to feel for these people, don't you?
So allegedly, I have to say, conned $13 million out of these people. But I mean, my son got text messages through the other day on his phone. He showed me them, and they were able to put off his bank sort code, and it made it look really cool because if he didn't, they put the address and all of his bank and give him a phone number to call so they could change, and then they wanted stuff, and it was quite sophisticated.
Yeah.
It was only whenever they put a grammatical error that he went, "Oh, something not right there," and
Yeah.
it's easy enough to get caught out.
Because the wee girls from Cripbroads don't make grammatical errors. I know.
No, but no, $13 million. Wow,
It's rough.
yeah. On a lighter note, it's Father's Day tomorrow, and it seems to be every sort of Christmas and Father's Day. Nick Offerman does a Lagavulin advert. So if anybody knows Parks and Recreation, Ron Swanson, that Lagavulin has his Offerman special edition last year. There's a couple of people saying it was the best whiskey of last year. I've tasted it and it's bloody good. I wouldn't say it was that good, but they've brought out a new advert.
Right, this must be must be making as much out of adverts as that Chris guy used to make out of adverts, Gary Lineker.
Oh, well, true. I don't think Ron Swanson's short of a bob or two. I wouldn't have thought. I think he's probably doing all right for himself.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
This Father's me and Dad decided to make something with our hands in nature. I'm crafting this bear. How's yours coming along, Dad?
I just finished. I like your bear too.
Thanks. Bird watching is an enjoyable way to spend time together. I like to practice my bird calls. Maybe you should try, Dad.
Okay. Come here, bird.
For supper, there's nothing like grilling steaks over an open flame. Enjoy your steak.
I already have.
Stargazing is just a relaxing pastime. Look, Dad, a cow. What do you see?
I see a T-bone steak, a baked potato, and a bottle of Lagavulin.
Sure you do. Happy Father's Day from Lagavulin.
Oh,
It's quite funny.
yeah,
Quite funny. Like
no expense spared.
No, but I do like those things. I do like those.
What's that?
But,
Tony Sillett's asking, "Where's the orange hat?" And actually, somebody was asking, "Where's your jumper?"
my jumper's actually in my bag. I have a black jumper in my bag.
All right, no black
couldn't
top
be
on
bothered
tonight.
with
Yeah.
betting on it.
And Peter
Yeah.
Stewart has guessed it. I must be going to Florida in the morning because there's a Virgin flight to Orlando tomorrow about midday. Spot on the money, Peter Stewart. Yes, I'm going to Casa, Orange County, Florida. Yeah, you've guessed it correctly. But there you go. Anyway, the secret's out.
Aye.
My secret's
Secret's
out.
Now,
Yeah.
we're going to do a wee tasting from our sponsors, nonetheless. So you better be nice, folks. You better be nice.
Yeah.
So this is the Scots Irish. Now, this is a blend. It's £35 for a 50 cl ball, a half-litre ball. Let's give it a little bit out. It's a bit confusing on the website. It's blend it with peated malted barley, followed by corn and rye for sweetness, and matured in Chablais casks. Chablais wine.
Well, this is a peated
quite
one that I
acidic.
like. I don't normally like peated, but I can just get a wee hint of the peat, and I quite like that.
That's you're not drinking Scots Irish whiskey there.
No, I finished the whole bottle off. Unfortunately, I'm not joking you. It came and it was that nice. I finished the whole thing off. There you go. They sent me a big bottle. You got a miniature. I got a big one. And seriously, it's all gone. Honestly, there, it's all gone. It's done a disappear trick. It's quite nice because behind the bottle, see through, and you can see Fermanagh. So it's like looking out the window into Fermanagh like that there.
Mhm.
Nice bottle, nice gift.
On the nose, I'm sorry, I'm not getting a huge amount of peat there at all.
Just a very subtle, very subtle, very subtle.
Maybe I need my Glencairn glass maybe. But it's
What do you think of it? What do you think of it? folks? 'Cause
there's definitely barley sugar there. You know, you're getting that sort of sweet barley cereal note that's coming through.
you talk away there. I'm going to make a hot whiskey because my nose is running like anything. I'm going to make a hot whiskey with it. I've got a wee drop left downstairs. You talk away. See what they think of it, Marty.
Right.
All right. Hold on.
No man. It's quite honeyed, isn't it? It's quite honeyed. Light honey, quite floral. It's actually got quite a nice mouthfeel. A little bit grainy, but on the finish, it's still that barley sugar. That's the one note that I'm getting over and over. Still can't get any peat off it. What are you guys getting? I don't get the peat off that at all. If it's there, it's dominated by that sort of rich barley sugar note.
You can tell this is live because I had to go make a hot whiskey and I had to go and blow my nose there because I don't know whether it's I've got hay fever or what, but my nose is running like mad. Let's taste this.
Tony, there's no age statement for it, mate. There's no age statement for it. It's a blend. So
Whoa, that's delicious.
yeah.
That's delicious. We put a warm water.
Yeah. Declan says he's definitely getting peat. I don't get any peat of that at all, if I'm totally honest. It's definitely much more sort of floral with that level of sweetness coming through.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Chablis cask, I'm not 100% sure how the Chablis casks interact. I mean, that Chablis tends to be quite acidic.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of citrus there. There is a bit of citrus, Mark.
Yeah, but it's that's the first time I've tried that.
I'm definitely getting peat. I'm definitely getting peat. And obviously, the heat of the warm water maybe helps the peat come out. But there you go. Declan Boyd says there's definitely peat, and then Mark Kerr says there's no peat in his.
See, I tend to go a bit with Mark on that. If there's peat there, it's in tiny little pieces. I'm going to say there's a bit more. Now that I've got it, I'm going to say there's a bit more green grape in that. But I wouldn't necessarily associate it with Chablis cask, but I do get that sort of green fruit note where it's estery, is what you call it. It's not. Sometimes you get that if it's quite estery, it goes to green apple, but it's much more subtle than that. It's probably a bit more sugared. And this would appeal to quite a lot of people because it's sweetish. It's probably a little bit too sweet for me, if I'm honest.
Well, I like the sweet stuff, but this is actually, when this is fully up and running down there, it's a beautiful part of the country. You've been down to Garrison. I know
it's
it
beautiful.
reasonably well. I've holidayed down there before.
Mark
Kerr, I agree with you. Hint of pear as well. Yeah,
pear.
definitely.
It's not pear grape. Pear grape. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same ballpark. It's not. It's not too estery. It's got that kind of sweetness to take it away from being too estery. But definitely the likes of barley sugar, etc., etc. Yeah, when I first saw, I have to admit, when I first saw the label, I thought the label was a bit.
It's a crest. It's a crest.
It actually works quite well. Works quite well once you actually see it up and running.
Well, that's what Mark Kerr says. Lovely bottle and box. It is. It's a wee bit different. It's a wee bit different.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, Shane says he's driving tonight, so he can't tap. But do let us know what you think of it, Shane, because
Yeah.
it's really quite drinkable. I mean, it's. I think a lot of people will probably be able to go and drink that neat, because we don't like the word smooth, but lots of people go, "Well, that's very smooth," because it's quite buttery on the mouthfeel. It's got a nice thick sort of buttery mouthfeel to it.
Yeah. Check it out yourself. You can go to the website. It's scotsirish.com.
Yeah.
Dead easy to find. It's like Scots with 2 T's, irish.com. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's very drinkable for a reasonable price. So, yeah, if you're looking at gifts for Father's Day, have a go and see if you pick that up.
Yeah. There you go. And thanks for them for sponsoring the show tonight as well.
Absolutely.
So, remember, if you want to catch us, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Telegram. You can ask Alexa or Hey Google to play your podcast. I installed a Hey Google machine for somebody the other week, and of course, I have to get them to listen to my podcast, or our podcast rather, well, it does work. It's excellent, and we're past the 10,000 level on the podcast now.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
10,000 listens. That's not bad.
Traffic.
Not bad going. That's a milestone, and we're heading fast towards the magic 1,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. But the reach on Facebook is astronomical some weeks, isn't it?
That's fantastic. Some weeks, the Chinese one last week, I think, is doing really well.
Yeah,
Because needs a wee slice of the Chinese. Ni hao. I went and saw panda bears today. I found out what panda bear shit looks like. To be honest,
what does it look like?
It's like yellow bamboo-ish.
Right.
Yeah, because the panda bear was having a shit in front of me. That's the joys of going to a zoo.
I would have thought it would have come out like black and white, white and black, black and white, white and white and black. No. All right, my imagination.
I see Mark Cares come up with, it's butterscotch. Mark.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. No, it's definitely helping my sinuses, that.
But no, it's very pleasant to drink. And decent money. There's Fiona in. Fiona, how are you? Hope you're keeping well.
Is that a Fiona friend of yours or Fiona friend of mine?
It's Fiona friend of both of ours.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. You got very friendly with you were very friendly with her dad. Remember the night we went down Shortcross, Radaman?
Oh, is that Fiona?
Is that Fiona? Yes, it's that Fiona.
Yes. That's Fiona.
I take it. It's David away to bed. Got me bed, right? He's away to bed. Let's get Marty and Justin on. Yeah, Mark says that's a nice blend. That is a nice blend.
There's Ryan saying, Ryan, your name may be Ball, but you're not on the ball. You didn't subscribe. You've just subscribed to the podcast. You didn't know it bloody well existed. Jesus, so what kind of tech guru are you? I tell you.
He's a top man, but yes.
Yeah.
Top man.
I know.
But,
listen, if you like the show, there's how to like us. buymeacoffee.com/Irish Whiskey. We're also on Buy Me a Coffee. It's one of those wee tipping sites. There you go. Do that if you like it.
So Tony likes it as a blend. Yeah. Tony, it's very simple, very easy to drink. £35 a bottle for these days. These days, £35 for a bottle of whiskey's nothing. It's absolutely for nothing.
So you can't even fill your car for 35 quid. There was a time you could have filled your car for 35 quid, but you can't.
I saw we fella putting a tenner of petrol in his car the other day. So it wouldn't take him up home.
What did he tell you? I ran out of petrol the other day. Honestly, because the needle was reading wrong.
That's because you're as tight as a duck's arse.
Anyway, I know. I'm like Tam from Still Game.
Aye.
There you go.
Anyway, no. So check that out, guys, because it's pleasant enough, easy enough drinking whiskey. Probably just a little bit too sweet for me,
but
my personal opinion.
I like the sweet stuff, as you know.
Loads of people like sweet stuff. Now, anyway. Belfast Whiskey Week's coming up, and I got the first press release from Paul the other day about what all's going to be happening. It's from the 22nd of July to the 30th, so basically 9 days inclusive.
Yeah.
There's a pile of stuff happening, a pile of stuff. There's going to be 14 different venues, over 100 different events. I just saw Sean McLennan coming up there, a Ballymena man calling Justin tight. That's how you know he's tight. When a Ballymena man says he's tight, he is tight. No, so for anyone who's watching in the States or anywhere else, Ballymena people, from my hometown, the spiritual homeland from where I'm from, is well known for people never losing sight of a 50p piece. Hang on to them. They started out round and then they got into a Ballymena man's hand and they squeezed it like that and they went into 5 different things. There's Paul looking at the obligatory whiskey influencer pose with the glass right.
White's Tavern, is that? I think it is. Yeah.
Is that White's?
That's White's new beer garden, I think.
Yes, it is. Yep. But no, with the obligatory glass out in front of him, he should be wearing a polar neck jumper. Thing out. Yeah. So as I say, there's going to be barbecue, music, food, proper people, meeting people, not online. Hallelujah. There's going to be 6 exclusive festival bowlings. There's even speed dating, Justin. Speed dating.
Oh, there's hope for me yet.
There's hope for you. If you're in quick and out, you might not notice. But
yeah.
I shouldn't say that.
We'll get Zuckerberg.
Yeah, we'll get Zuckerberg.
Close to the dollar is the word. If you're close to the dollar, that means you're tight-fisted.
Sorry, Mark Zuckerberg. But no,
yep.
As I say, there's loads of stuff, and it'll all be announced very shortly. There's loads of stuff for different price ranges for just wanting to join in online. There's different stuff, prices for events. Obviously, the tasting boxes will be different prices for those. All of this will start coming out. So,
and you can go on there and you can sign up on Belfast Whiskey Week's website, enter your name and date of birth, and you can stay in the loop. And there's the full details of when it's back. Yeah.
And they're also doing walking tours.
Are you doing some of the walking tours?
Yeah.
I can't walk the length of myself. There you go.
No.
Oh, there's a kind of look at that there. There's Mark Kerr saying, I didn't realize my Buy Me a Coffee sub had expired. Thanks, renewing. Mark, you're a very generous man. Mark always gives us a wee sample himself when he has one. He's very good that way. He's giving us some nice stuff. He gave you some nice bottles as well. Yeah,
I
heavy bottles, that fancy name with
bottles setting up myself.
Yeah. But I was going to say you were putting shelves up, but I was going to say where are they? But you're not at home, so they aren't there.
Oh, what a disaster it was! But we got put like this: the books are secure. Basically, if you've seen my house, folks, my house is a tiny little house, and basically all that's in it is a bed, a TV, loads of bottles of whiskey, and loads of books. That's essentially all that's in the place.
You're ruining it for people. People think that's a set.
It's not a set. I assure you, that's basically my entire house. You see,
listen,
other than the bed.
Listen, my house is a set too. I can make it all wobble. Look at that there. Look,
yes,
it all wobbles.
Yeah. What would you call that? Acorn Antiques. I remember thinking.
Yeah.
But no, Belfast Whiskey Week is going to be fantastic this year because it's back and it started off quite small. And then year 2, it was big, but it just got all cancelled because of COVID. And the following year, it was going to be massive, and COVID was still there. And this is probably the first big one that's going to be live and in person. Yeah. And the whole organisational skill of the whole thing. There's going to be dinners and barbecue and food pairings and proper food pairings and loads of stuff, loads of stuff. And I know Fiona and David are going to be involved with it, and all the people around it. I think pretty much everybody in Ireland, barring obviously certain people,
who don't return phone calls.
they're in disguise. Don't want anybody to know they actually sell whiskey. That's why I don't have no idea who's going to be there. But Belfast Whiskey Week, Geordie, it's 22nd of July to the 30th, and there'll be stuff being streamed online, etc., etc. So there's loads of stuff, loads of it. Thank God.
That's the website there. The website, this is the website there, belfastwhiskeyweek.com. Yep, that's it there. Dead easy to find. belfastwhiskeyweek.com.
Put it like this. Mark's asking when does he have to book to share a dram with the two of us. I'll be doing tours. I think I'm doing tours 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock every day for I think it's maybe for 7 days, etc. And I'll be about. I'll not be too far travelled. So yeah, I'll get a drink. Don't worry about that, Mark.
There we go. Now, what else do I have to do this week? We've something else to do. I have a feeling there's another story there somewhere.
Well, there's another thing that popped up, and I was going to do it as part of the news, but I kind of it's just more like a comment of a thing. I just seen Tony's comment is just very much to me. It's cooking apples when chopped up in the Scots. Reminds me of childhood pies. Put it like this, Tony. I love whenever people tell me that something has reminded them of something of their childhood or something the positive thing from back in the day. Because that's what whiskey should be about. That it shouldn't be about arguing about something stupid like, oh, he used the word Irish out of turn and this boy used this out of turn and stuff. It should be about having memories and so on and so forth, you know.
There's a Dale McCaffrey asking, is it on the Northern Ireland Tourist Board calendar? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea. You know? I know I've had theatre things on the Northern Ireland Tourist Board calendar.
That's absolutely zippo to do with the Belfast Whiskey Week.
No, but I'm saying you have to submit it, don't you?
Yeah.
Paul and his team will be on top of that, I'm sure. Marty will mention it to him the next time.
We'll put it like this: he's his PR team. He's hired a proper PR team.
Yeah.
From Harriet Communications. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you but they've got a Facebook page, just message and find out. You know.
Listen, I don't have COVID. I think Justin has COVID. It's not COVID. I've already had COVID. You know,
I've managed to avoid it. Even though I was doing a tour the other day, the multi-day tour, and there was 4 people had it, tested positive.
Yeah,
Marty, because he drinks so much whiskey, is immune to it. He said, tempting fate. But no,
I know.
As I say, it's no, Tony. That's I like it whenever people say it reminds them of something in their childhood, because it's always good. But no, I remember we used to get the 20p's wrapped in foil, and you always think, oh, I wonder if they disinfect it before they stuck it in the pie, just in case you got it.
I don't think you're allowed to put coins into pies anymore. I think that's against health and safety. It's against the European Union, but I think we left that, so I think we're allowed to do that again.
Why do we let these people tell us what to do? Why do they micromanage things that we do? Anyway, this was, I was going to mention this before we get sort of sidetracked a wee bit. This is not to do with the next thing that's coming up. I read a report this week that says tequila and mezcal are going to outsell whiskey in the US this year. If you go to off licenses pretty much everywhere, there's so much tequila and so much mezcal that is up for sale. You all right? You're going to die on me, are you? You really?
Hopefully not. Hopefully
I need
not.
a clean shirt for.
I'll make it through the next 7 minutes. Just about.
But there's lots of high end tequilas and lots of the high end mezcals, and I've tasted a couple of them, and they're actually pretty good. You know, you get the aged ones and the añejo ones. They're really they're really quite good, and it takes a lot of artisan skill to make some of them. I mean, the likes of your big, sorry, Bushmills, but Jose Cuervo looking down on us. Jose Cuervo stuff's bloody crap. The cheapo stuff, but once you start buying some of the craft stuff and a bit more high end and aged and whatnot, you can get some pretty good stuff, you know. But the last story, I quite like this. It's Bushmills have partnered up to do another sort of story. This is the Singular Tales Chapter 2. However, like everything that Bushmills do, everything they do is really good, really cool, but that's just not right. It's just not right. It's something up on this. And honestly, anybody who watched the review that I did for the Blackbush 43%, the Zavis cast, I'll see that there's so many people want to love Bushmills, but they keep sort of letting them down a little bit. And this is really cool, really nice bit of work, but there's a couple of bits in it where it's just not right. And okay, it might just be me being a bit of a nerd, but it shouldn't be. If you're paying for these guys to do this and want to create this stuff, then it shouldn't be wrong. It has to be right, you know. Anyway, play this.
I'll tell the story evermore. I know the dates and times for sure. I know the place. I know the name. I can't wait to return again. We spoke and drank and laughed and more. Thoughts of how we'd all matured. Though the same, we reinvent. Different era, same intent. For time has run like River Bush. We ain't done all we said we would, but said that we would never go. Far from the truth we'd come to know. You're still so true. You follow through. Your family loves, you love them too. Around the fire, in the field, with glass in hand you feel the chill. Yet warm somehow, hotter still. As memories come, your mind its wheels. A turn in motion, flashes come. Still full of feeling, never numb. You hear the drum, your eyes with tears. Your mouth wide open, all the years come flooding like a barrel's burst. But tales of joy for nothing's worst. The days have brought us closer still, and all those times of toil and ill make sweeter taste the present day, side by side along the way. Each generation passes on a story or a sacred song, a proverb or a recipe, a little myth from you to me. This way we'll never be alone. Now all together roll the stone. Let's walk about, let's talk it out. Let's take it in, let's go to town. To talk of how rich is our past, to say our future, richer still. Yes, it's this, it will be still, forevermore and always will. But year on year and day on day, we'll find our single special way of staying sure, of staying true, of you to me, of I to you.
I like that. I like that as a poem.
I do. I thought it was better than Seamus Heaney. I don't
like
like Seamus Heaney's style at all, Marty.
I like that. But why do they keep going? Oh, and the River Bush goes. They don't get the water from the River Bush. They get it from St. Colum's Rill, which
it's a tributary.
It's the wee river that runs right through the distillery that makes it look all pretty. And I mean, there's just it's just that little bits of stuff that keep. And I know.
Well, the jury's out here. Connor thinks it's cringeworthy, and Mark Kerr thinks he enjoys the sentiments. There you go.
I enjoyed it. The guy James Messiah is his name. Cites John Cooper Clarke as an inspiration. I like John Cooper Clarke. I've always liked John Cooper Clarke. I think it's very funny and very witty. But yeah, it's just Proximo who own Bushmills. To me, They do this is really good, and then they do something crap. And then they do this and that, and then it's something really crap. And there's always something about it that never just sets perfect. And there's so many people want to really, really enjoy Bushmills and really love Bushmills. And yet they keep doing little things that just don't sit right. And I know it's okay, it's only being a bit pedantic about the couple of line in the poem or a couple of lines in the poem, whatever. But it just is that it should just have more, and it should be a bit more perfect. Because
I don't know. I liked it. There's Peter Stewart saying no passion, no emotion. Listen, take it up with James Messiah. Here's his handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, it's not him. Whether you like the poem or not, that's one thing. But it's just there's always something about Bushmills that if they just tweaked it just a little bit and got it right, it would be without question the showpiece whiskey of Irish whiskey. I mean, Bushmills sales actually dropped. If you take away the other brands that they supply, their sales actually dropped in America last year. They dropped. How? How? That baffles me.
Right. There's Adele saying, is it a point of accuracy? Well,
It is,
you're a wide poetic license, aren't you, Adele? Yeah.
But the thing is, if everything else that they've done was spot on, it wouldn't even be a problem. But it's just this constant, there's little things that are always a bit wrong about Bushmills.
Are they trying to do too much?
No, they're not doing enough. And we're not even doing close to enough. The Causeway collection, the stuff that they brought out, some of them are beautiful whiskies. But it was summed up for me. It was just perfectly summed up for me whenever they brought out the Sauvignon cast, the 43% Black Bush for France. Why are we not getting that? Why are we in Ireland and the UK, people down the road, not getting that? It's bloody amazing stuff. Amazing. There's a 46% that are released over in the States. Why do we not get that? Because it would be absolutely. I mean, Black Bush is about as good an Irish whiskey as you'll get for that price point. Without question, I honestly don't think that there's any competition. The only thing at that price point, the 20 quid a bottle, 25 pound, is probably Writer's Tears is a little bit more expensive. But in and around that, and it just they have this wonderful product, wonderful spirit. It just irks me that it's not nailed on perfect.
Lovely stuff. That's a wrap for another fantastic week. Thanks to Scots Irish for sponsoring them. We'll give Tony Sillett the last word. Thanks for the Scots Irish. It was lovely to get, and not a bad drop either.
Thanks to our sponsors tonight.
Yeah.
The Scots Irish Distillery. I think it went down well.
Yeah.
And
have a good week. Catch you next week. Remember,
Tony,
we're on
glad
YouTube,
you enjoyed it, mate. You take care.
Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch and Telegram, and ask Alexa or Google to play Irish Whiskey Review podcast.